Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to dive in. What are we tackling today?
Today, we're going deep on something we all deal with and sometimes struggle with.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
We're talking apologies.
Apologies. Everyone's got a story there.
Exactly. And, sometimes you think you're giving a heartfelt, sincere apology.
Right. You mean it.
You really mean it. But it
Uh-huh.
just doesn't seem to land right. It's like,
It falls flat. Awkward silence.
yes. So to help us all navigate this tricky territory, we've got this super interesting article about common apology mistakes.
Okay, mistakes. We all make them. I'm all ears.
So, are you ready to learn how to craft apologies that actually work? And maybe even understand the ones you've received in a new light?
Let's do it. Decode those apologies.
All right, the article dives right in,
Mm-hmm.
and the first thing it tackles is what they call the I'm sorry but apology.
Huh?
The classic, I'm sorry I missed your birthday, but work was crazy busy.
Oh, yeah, that's a familiar one. I've definitely used that one a time or two.
We've all been there, either giving or receiving that kind of apology.
Yeah.
But what is it that makes this type of apology so ineffective?
Well, it's that tiny little word, but. It's sneaky.
Freaky butt.
It acts like a shield, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of genuinely acknowledging how your actions impacted the other person, you're basically justifying yourself.
Right, you're shifting the focus.
Exactly. It's almost like you're taking it back. Like,
Nah.
I'm sorry, but it's not really my fault.
It almost negates the apology entirely. And the article gives a much better way to phrase this. They suggest something like, I'm really sorry I missed your birthday. I know it's important to you, and I should have been there.
That's so much better. It feels way more genuine.
Right. It's a small change, but it makes a huge difference.
Totally. In the revised version, you're putting their feelings front and center. You're acknowledging the impact.
No justifications or excuses.
You're not diminishing their experience with that sneaky but.
Okay, next up is a tricky one. It's the conditional apology, or what the article calls the I'm sorry if. Like, I'm sorry if you felt left out last weekend.
Ah, yes. It seems harmless enough.
Right, on the surface, it sounds okay. But something about it always feels a little off.
It definitely feels a bit passive-aggressive, like you're not really owning up to anything.
Exactly. So what's the problem with this kind of apology?
The big issue is that you're basically implying that the other person's feelings are somehow unreasonable or invalid.
Oh, I see. So it's like you're saying, I'm sorry if you took it that way, instead of actually validating their feelings.
Exactly. You're putting the burden on them to manage their emotions instead of acknowledging your part in it.
Right. Instead of acknowledging their hurt, you're kind of dismissing it. And guess what? The article offers a much better alternative. Something like, I'm sorry I made you feel left out last weekend. That wasn't my intention, and I regret not being more considerate.
Ooh, that's good. That hits differently, much more validating.
It does, right?
It feels like you're actually taking responsibility.
And it takes the focus off intention and puts it squarely on the impact of your actions.
You're saying, I see how my actions affected you, and I'm sorry for that.
Okay, last one in this bad apology lineup. I think we're all guilty of this one sometimes.
Hit me with it.
It's the sneaky I'm sorry you apology. Like, I'm sorry you misunderstood what I meant.
Ooh, yeah, the blame shifting special.
Classic blame shifting. So tell me why this one falls flat.
Instead of acknowledging that maybe, just maybe, you didn't communicate clearly, you're basically saying, it's your fault for not understanding me.
Putting it all on them.
Exactly. Not taking any responsibility for your role in the miscommunication.
And of course, the article comes to the rescue with a much more constructive way to rephrase this. They suggest something like, I'm sorry I didn't communicate clearly. I see how that hurt you, and I wish I'd explained myself better.
Now that's a good one. That feels like a real apology.
It does, doesn't it?
You're owning your part in the situation.
Right, acknowledging that you messed up.
And you're also showing empathy. You're acknowledging how your lack of clarity affected them.
This goes beyond just saying, I'm sorry.
It's about actually understanding the impact of your actions.
All right, so we've covered what not to do. But now, the million-dollar question, what does a genuinely good apology look like?
A good apology, a real one, it doesn't need any qualifiers.
No buts.
No buts, no ifs, no yous.
It stands on its own 2 feet.
Exactly. It's about taking responsibility. No deflecting, no excuses.
I love that. And the article breaks down the key components.
Okay, let's hear it. The recipe for a good apology.
They say there are 3 essential parts.
Huh.
First, you clearly state the impact of your actions. No beating around the bush.
Makes sense. Own what you did.
Second, you own your part without making excuses. No buts allowed.
Right. Full accountability.
And finally, you express empathy and genuine regret for causing hurt.
You know what I find so interesting about apologies is that a good apology, it can actually strengthen relationships.
Really?
How so? Because when you apologize well, you're building trust and understanding. It shows that you're willing to be accountable for your actions. It's powerful.
That's such a good point. So we've busted some common apology myths, learned the formula for a sincere and effective, I'm sorry. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely approaching apologies a bit differently from now on.
Me too. I'm definitely going to be more mindful. You know, thinking about this, I'm curious. Think back to a time someone apologized to you.
Okay.
Did their apology, did it have all three elements? You know, acknowledging the hurt, taking responsibility, and expressing empathy.
Interesting.
And how did it make you feel? Or maybe think about apologies you've given.
Oh, wow.
You'd rephrase now.
Food for thought. It's definitely making me rethink some past conversations.
We all have those. It's part of being human, right?
So true. Well, until next time, everyone, keep those apologies genuine.
And remember, no buts.
See you all next time.